So in the 1950s, the first long-acting insulin was released, and this was meant for type 1 diabetics just to cover their background metabolic rates. Just your normal metabolic processes, this was meant to be covered by a 24-hour long-acting insulin. Now, there was a problem with this. It didn't actually last 24 hours, even though it said it does, and it still says it does. Long-acting insulin is only effective for about 12 hours. In reality, what ends up happening is you take a large dose, typically in the morning, and it's too much for the day because you're trying to make it last overnight as well. So we'll just say you end up taking 20 units in the morning, but you really only need 10 for the day and then 10 at night. When you take 20, what you see is you go low during the day and then high overnight. So this is the big problem with long-acting, and tons of type 1 diabetics actually use it, but they only do one dose because it's supposed to last for 24 hours, even though it really doesn't. In trying to take just one dose a day, it leads to less stable blood sugar. The solution is to actually split the dose. And now this doesn't work for everyone, but it has worked for a ton of people that I've worked with. Now, the way that you go about this is, let's just say you normally take it once a day in the morning at 7 a.m. You take 20 units, just split it right in half, do 10 in the morning, and then 10 before bed. Now, when you're doing this, it's important to remember that you need to take it around the same time every day. Take it at 7 a.m., continue to take it at 7 a.m. And then if you take it at 7 p.m., continue to take it at 7 p.m. If you're off by 1 to 2 hours, it's not a big deal. But the important part is to just split it up so that you're not taking too much during the day and then you have too little overnight. This will just allow you to more accurately match your background metabolic processes. So imagine you fasted all day. You want to stay stable the entire day because you didn't eat anything, and presumably you didn't take any fast-acting insulin. But if you were to actually do that and you took no insulin at all, you would see your blood sugar just starts to slowly creep up. And that's because your body is always working in the background, breaking down food and putting it into your blood. Now, if you don't have any insulin to help match that, then your blood sugar just goes up. That's what this is for. It's to match that background rate. Most people are processing food more when they're awake than when they're asleep. So in reality, if you were taking 20 units in the morning, I would do maybe 12 or 13 in the morning and then 7 at night, something like that, because your body kind of slows down while you're sleeping. But when you just take one dose, you really can't get that precise or minute with it. And again, it just leads to less control over your blood sugar, and it's such a small change. Half the time you can take the exact same amount of insulin too. You just have to split the dose and take it at different times. And I've really seen it make a big impact. Now, if you use an insulin pump, it already it does this for you. You might have noticed that overnight your basal rates actually drop pretty naturally. Like, let's just say you take 1 unit an hour during the day. Overnight, you're probably taking about 0.8. And it's not because your body just shuts down while you're asleep, but it does slow down so that you can heal and regenerate. So we're basically just trying to replicate that with the long-acting insulin. And it's actually really, really good at it when it's used in 12-hour chunks, not 24-hour chunks. Now, how do you know that you're taking the right amount of insulin? This is a really, really important question. So if you were to fast all day, your blood sugar should be staying stable. So you didn't take any insulin, you didn't eat any sugar to correct a low, you just ate nothing, you sat around, you did nothing all day. Your blood sugar should be perfectly stable. That is the goal. So let's say that you did try to fast and you went high during the day and then low overnight. That would mean that your morning dose is too low and your night dose is too high. And you can get even more precise with an insulin pump. So let's say you went high around noon, but then you came back down afterwards. That means afterwards your basal's probably spot on, but noon it's a little low. So you can really dial it in with the pump, not quite as much with the long-acting dose, but it does work pretty similarly, and it still works really well, again, when you split the dose. So I hope this was actually useful for you. Just try it. Just split the dose straight in half the first time and just see what happens, because I think for most of you, it will help more than you think. The lows that you're having overnight, it could be from the long-acting. If you're going high overnight, that's almost definitely from your long-acting dose. So dialing that in can really help drop your A1C, improve your standard deviation, all of that. So I'm telling you, just try it out. And yeah, I hope this was useful for you.